Yebe iwa ye Evia brinson Ye betron chomo Enyumre Yebe kamfo Anajo.
Hello everyone. Good morning and praise the Lord. Today is the 1st of May and many people call it the International Workers' Day. It is also called the Labor Day, and I believe that you are home. We are coming to you live from Tac TV, the official television channel of the Apostolic Church, belting the globe with the gospel. And today, as you already know, as a holiday, we come to you in your homes with holiday conversations. Just keep your dial on Tac TV. We will be right back.
Welcome to the courtroom with me, your host, Lady Lawyer Abby. This show promises to be educative, exciting, and a show that offers free legal advice. I'll be on your screens this and every Thursday from 8:30 p.m. with lawyers to discuss various legal issues like land, child custody, marital issues, adoption, defilement, and so many others. You do not want to miss the courtroom. Join me and my team, the courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. The courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Tac TV.
Tac TV, belting the globe with the gospel.
Ọdọfoɔ, abrabɔ no akyerɛ wɔ so. Awerɛhoɔ ne asesena mu nsɛm ayɛ dadwene ama wɔn naa. Ɛneɛ, bisa Nyame, ɔsoro mu ato. Ɛyɛ wo sɛ Nyame ayi n'ani ahinta wɔn naa. Bisa Nyame yɛ mpaebɔ mmerɛ kɛseɛ wɔ Tac TV so. Awia dumie no, ɛkɔsi dɔnko. Ɛdwoada, ɛbenada, ɛne nkwada biara. Bisa Nyame na ɔbɛyɛ ama wo. Bisa Nyame na ɔbɛma w'akoma atɔ yam. Bisa Nyame wɔ Tac TV so. Awurade nhyira.
Tac TV, belting the globe with the gospel.
Hello viewers, welcome back from the break. We are here with our brother Johnny Donu Sampa. He is the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union, PSWU of TUC Ghana. Brother John, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, so today we're going to discuss, or Brother John is going to help us discuss what the role of labor unions are as we discuss, as we celebrate this International Workers' Day. And so we'll go straight to the discussion. Very soon we'll open the phone lines for you to join us in the conversation, and the number will be displayed on your screen. Why do we celebrate May Day or International Workers' Union? Can you give some reasons and the importance of the day?
Okay, thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. International Workers' Day, as we sometimes also call it, International Day of Solidarity or Workers' International Day, is a day that we used to commemorate the struggles of workers. If you trace the history of May Day, it started as a result of workers agitating and demanding decent work conditions and also 8-hour period. During those days, workers could work for about 16 hours.
One person?
Yes, one person.
Wow!
So it was a time where workers came together and they were demanding that they should be given 8 working hours in the US. They were met with the police and there was a riot, and that led to 8 policemen being killed, with a number of civilians also being injured and killed. Based on that one, the 4 people who were the gang leaders were arrested and later on sentenced and by hanging, and they were killed. Wow. Other people that were also involved were also arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment and other things. So, and that happened somewhere in the 19th century. So after that, the Soviet Union declared the 1st May as Workers' Day of Solidarity. But you know, the United States didn't want the Workers' Day of Solidarity should be associated by the Soviet Union. And therefore, they also passed a legislation to make the 1st May holiday for the advancements of workers' rights in the United States. And that is actually how this May Day started. So it is a day of reflection. It's a day that we recognize the leaders of workers. The 8 working days that we have now, the maternity leave that we have now, it is workers and their unions that came together and fought, because it was never like that. During those days, even when you go on maternity leave, you go on maternity leave. When you don't work, you don't get salary. So after you have come to work and you start working, then you start getting salary. So workers have to fight for this. And out of that, there was demonstrations and in Chicago. And at the end of it, some police people have to be killed, and also civilians, and the workers' leaders have to be arrested. And as a result of this, the day was dedicated both by the workers and their unions, and also the state now recognizing that that day should be recognized, observed, to remember those that led for those workers' rights.
Oh, okay. So it means that this actually started in the US?
Yes, please.
However, the declaration of the day as a day for solidarity started in the Soviet Union.
Yes.
And then the United States made it into
they passed
a law.
Legislation.
That's right.
Also in the United States, and then all other countries started celebrating it in remembrance of the struggles of workers.
May the souls of those who led those demonstrations rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Yes, but something struck me when you were describing what brought about this May Day thing. You said people could work even up to 16 hours.
Yes, please.
Is it the slave trade era or post-slave trade?
Oh, you know, during the Industrial Revolution,
okay,
people have to work. During those days, we didn't have robots and
computers, nothing. Everything was manual.
Everything was manual. And the only thing you needed was to just eat, a small break time to eat. And even when you are eating, there is a supervisor on you giving you about 5 minutes or 10 minutes to eat. And if you don't
get
finish,
back to work.
You know that even people were shipped to actually go back to work, because people were generally considered lazy. They didn't want to work. And people have to be forced to work. So that is actually what happened. So people could work for 16 hours. And they were really demanding for 8 decent working hours and nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
And that is actually what led
what
to
we have now.
Yes, please.
But you know, in recent times, we still have the continental shift, especially in some countries. It's not overtime, but your shift is 8 hours, it's 12 hours. And also we have some industries that the shift is about 12 hours, like those in the hospitality industry, etc. They usually work longer shifts. How do you reconcile that?
So by the labor law of Ghana and also many other countries, we are supposed to work for 8 hours.
Okay.
But depending on the industry, and how the shifting systems is arranged, you could actually work longer than that. But when you do, then also a longer rest period is given to you.
Okay.
In Ghana, for instance, a total of 40 hours per week. You shouldn't work more than 40 hours per week, no matter how it is arranged. So it could be arranged that, for example, security, the law also recognizes that they work from 6 to 6, and it is still not considered overtime. Nevertheless, there is an allowance which is commuted overtime, which is given to them for that purpose. But whatever it is, then you are not supposed to work more than 40 hours per week.
As your normal working hours.
Yes,
okay.
please.
Okay. So workers today, we've got to know we are not supposed to work more than 40 hours per week in our normal work schedule. So note it down. If you have questions, when we open the phone lines, you can join in. And our host here, John Ni Donusampa, the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union of TUC Ghana, will help us answer those questions. So, having declared today, 1st May, as a holiday, how should we spend it as workers?
Well, as workers, we need to take a time to reflect. Apart from the reflection, we as organized labor and TUC, we organize May Day forums. Even before today, 1st May, we have already organized pre-May Day forums where we do symposiums, we learn about the trade unions, we also involve ourselves in certain advocacy. We have not achieved all the rights. And even the right that we have achieved in the labor law, some employers are still not complying with the law. And so when these things come to workers' attention, we use some of these days to reflect upon them and to strategize what kind of advocacy we can make to make sure that we get the full compliance of the law. Apart from that, we know that our forefathers, some of them shed their blood for us, so we also pray for them and we also remember them. But after everything, we come together also to solidarize and to make sure that we have fun, we have picnics, and we also entertain ourselves.
Wow, workers, so today as you watch us on this 1st May or May Day, make sure you entertain yourself. Pray for our forefathers and other workers, and also make sure that you pick up a few points from this discussion and other ones that you may get yourself joining. If you've just turned on your television set, you are watching Holiday Conversations on Tac TV, the official television channel of the Apostolic Church Ghana, belting the globe with the gospel. In this segment, we are discussing what labor unions are and why we should celebrate May Day. And helping me do that is John Ni Donusampa, the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union, PSWU, of the TUC Ghana. So if you've just joined us, we'll be opening the phone lines. You will be able to join the conversation and ask all your questions or contribute. You can wish other people a special May Day celebration, and then we make your day. So you mentioned labor unions, that labor unions have already held pre-May Day forum and symposium.
Yes.
So what are these labor unions, or what are they?
Okay, so the labor unions in Ghana are many. I will not be able to list them all.
All of them?
They are more than 100. They are more.
Oh, really?
But when all of us come together, we call ourselves organized labor. Now, the organized labor, we have TUC, and the TUC more or less is a spokesperson for organized labor. But even the TUC is made up of several unions. It is made up of what we call national union. So when we say national union, The Public Services Workers Union is one national union.
Okay.
The Public Services Workers Union also have more than about 70 plus organizations under it.
I see.
The Ghana Airport, Civil Aviation, Electoral Commission, GBC, NCC, Ghana Tibet Service, huge organizations. All of them belong to Public Services Workers Union. And they are just one of the 22 national unions that belong to the TUC.
I see.
And then we have Mines Workers Union. They also have several mining companies. Then we have GAU, General Agricultural Workers Union. They also have several organizations. We have TEU. They also have all the Ghana Education Service, the administrators or the non-teaching staff also joining them. Then you have UTAG, all these, they all have different unions. Some of the unions don't belong to TUC, or they have not affiliated to the TUC, like NAT, NAGRAD, Ghana Medical Association. All of them have registered also as trade unions. CLOSAC, they are all there. They are not under the TUC. They are not part of the 22 national unions.
But that way, would they benefit from the Public Services Workers Union? Because the Public Services Workers Union, it's a member of TUC.
Yes.
So if we talk about organized labor,
yes,
and these people do not belong to TUC, how do they fit in?
Okay. So let me take you one after the other.
Exactly. I want to understand. And I'm sure our viewers are interested.
So, as I said, the unions I mentioned are called national unions. So, CLOSAC is a national union.
Yes.
NAT is a national union. NAGRAD Concerned Teachers, they are all national unions. These national unions, some of them have come together to form what we call the TUC. 22 of the national unions have come together. But there are some of the national unions that have not joined the TUC. But so the TUC, the people that have come together, we call them the TUC and its affiliates. But the national union that have not submitted to the TUC, they are part of the organized labor. Now, in this organized labor, we even have what we call enterprise union. For example, the Apostolic Church workers can decide to form an association and also register as a trade union without necessarily joining or submitting to the TUC or any national union.
Okay.
They are all small pocket of workers' organization. So if you say organized labor, we are talking about all the pockets of workers' organization coming together for the purposes of one agreed project. So, for example, when it comes to May Day, we put our individual unions aside and we come together to do it. There are times that there are increase in fuel, which we disagree with the government, or there are government policies that we disagree. We don't fight it as individual unions. Sometimes all of us come together as workers and then we say we are going on demonstrating or strike. But there are things that may happen only to Public Services Workers Union, in which case only Public Services Workers Union may go on strike or may demonstrate. Even in Public Services Workers Union, we have 70 different organizations. So there may be something happening in Ghana Airport Company or Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, which is not necessarily connected to Electoral Commission. We don't declare strike or
for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah, because it's localized.
But we do it for that particular local, which we call a division.
Okay.
And where we need reinforcement, we will say that we are calling for solidarity support from the other organizations to come and support that project.
So that you have the numbers and the voice.
Yes, please.
Yeah. That's a great one. So I believe that you are appreciating what labor unions are. And he said in Ghana, the biggest umbrella is the TUC. However, some national unions do not belong to it. So if the national union does not belong to TUC, it doesn't mean that it is null and void. It's still valid and it can go ahead to do its own activities. But let me ask, you said there are several of them. In the PSWU, you have about 70.
70
and in the TUC, you have about 22.
We have 22 national unions.
National unions forming the T, and then we have the other several ones that don't
and the
belong.
TUC, when we all put ourselves together, we are over 360 members.
Wow, different,
Different
unions coming together. And still, we have others that don't belong.
Yes. We have others like the NAT.
It means that we have over 400 labor unions in Ghana.
Yes.
Over 400.
Yes.
Because with the calculation.
Because per the labor law now, every 2 or more workers can join or form a trade union of their choice.
But how strong you become is another thing.
So they have become mushroom unions,
okay,
which we refer them to as yellow union. They are not strong, but it is also because the law that gave us the freedom to form trade union is the same law that have created the fragmentation. And so sometimes we need to be tactful, we need to be efficient so that we can attract all the workers to come to one umbrella.
Yes, we will want to take a break soon, but before that, is it compulsory for every worker to belong to a labor union or a trade union?
Okay, thank you very much. When you come to the Constitution of Ghana, it talks about the fact that, I think Article 24, it talks about the fact that every worker has the right to form or join a trade union of his choice. And the Labor Act also talked about the same thing. Section 79 is also talked about the fact that every 2 or more workers have the right to form or join a trade union of their choice. So every worker has the right to form a trade union. So to specifically answer your question, I would say that it is necessary and encouraged for every worker to belong to a trade union, but it is not compulsory.
It's not
for
compulsory.
Everybody to belong to a trade union.
It's necessary.
It is necessary.
And it's encouraged.
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. So if you are a worker in Ghana, it is necessary and it's encouraged that you join one trade union or the other so that your voice can get to where it has to get to.
And for example, in Ghana, there are some organizations that are classified as security agencies, like the police, like the military, the armed forces, and few other organizations that have been classified or categorized as security agency, which our law says that they should not be part of a union. So when you come to the Constitution, which is the where we pick our fundamental right, freedom of association, that one, you say that every worker has the right. But of course, you know, for the purposes of regulation, we have the Labor Act 651, which then specify which category of people may not be part.
May be excluded.
So, of course, the security organizations have been excluded. When you go to South Africa, the police, the fire service, all of them are part of the
So
union.
they can go on demonstration?
Yes, they are part of the union. But in Ghana, those organizations has been excluded. Then also, when it comes to the labor law, it says that, so when you take these people, all other workers may be part of a union, except those whose jobs are considered managerial, position of trust, confidential in nature. So, for example, when you go to some organization that we unionize, the management class, although they are also workers, we don't unionize them because they represent the shareholder. They represent the government. So when they are union, it is believed that they may be compromised in terms of negotiation on behalf of the state. So the law says that those people may not. It doesn't say they shall not. They may not. So it is only by negotiation that we agree that, okay, this class of people may be considered high-level management and that they should not be part of the union. But when you go to some places where the workers prefer, even the management also are part of the union.
The place can come to a
So
halt.
when you go to the civil service, for instance, where CLOSAC operate, the chief directors, everybody, every worker there, apart from the political appointees like ministers, everybody there is part of the association.
Wow, that's insightful enough. So viewers, you are watching Holiday Conversations on this May Day, International Workers' Day or Labor Day. You gave another name to it.
Yes, International Workers' Day or International Day of Solidarity.
International Day of Solidarity, looking at the role of labor unions, especially in Ghana. And helping us do that is the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union, PSWU, of the TUC of Ghana, Johnny Donu Sampa. We will take a short break. Don't put your television off, just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tac Newsline will bring you incredible news stories.
From business, the economy, religion, politics, and health.
The latest in entertainment, sports, exclusive interviews, and updates.
Do join us on our social media handles, Facebook Tac TV, YouTube Tac TV.
Tac Newsline, live on weekdays at 8 p.m.
Tac Newsline.
Tac Newsline.
Tac Newsline, demystifying the news.
Tac Newsline, live on weekdays at 8 p.m.
Tac TV, belting the globe with the gospel.
Hello viewers, welcome back to Holiday Conversations. Thank you very much for keeping your dial on Tac Television, the official television channel of the Apostolic Church Ghana, belting the globe with the gospel. Today is May Day, it's a public holiday, and we have our holiday conversations. And we are discussing the role of labor unions in Ghana. Helping us do that is the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union, PSWU, of the TUC Ghana, Johnny Donu Sampa. So we'll continue our conversation on the labor unions. So you just talked about the fact that everyone may belong to a labor union. That is what the law says. But in some few cases, like the security services, the law also prevents them from belonging to a labor union. Of course, for obvious reasons.
Yes, please.
For obvious reasons. They are supposed to control us or to monitor us if we are on demonstrations, etc. If they belong, then it means that there wouldn't be any control and guidance. So I believe that the crafters of the law really did a good job to exclude them from joining labor unions. However, I want to find out, can one worker belong to more than one labor union?
Okay, so once again, taking it from the Constitution, it says that every worker has the right to form or join a trade union of his choice. Okay. So the should mean that
it's a limiting factor.
One, yeah. So in practice, that is it. You may have more than one union in one organization. For example, Ghana Education Service. You have NAT, you have NAGRAT, you have Consent, you have so many unions over there. And you may decide to belong to one of them. You may decide to belong to one of them.
But can't you belong to two? I'm a member of NAT and I'm a member of NAGRAT.
No, it doesn't happen that way.
Okay.
In fact, even in terms of the administrative systems in place, when you belong to the government or the employer is deducting you, it is association. Then the associations have been listed. So you have to choose one of the associations that you belong.
So once you choose,
the
it
other,
means that you belong.
You cannot actually choose the other. It's interesting how it may actually come to play. I was chatting with someone and was asking that nowadays people are doing multiple jobs. And so you are working at this particular organization, and then you also work in another organization. In each of these organizations, they have trade unions. Can you join them? And if you join them, then it means that you have two trade unions. Mm-hmm. That is interesting. I have not encountered one yet. Mm. But from my appreciation of the law, it says that every worker has the right to join a trade union of his choice.
Okay, so workers we can belong to. If you are belonging to two or more, when the phone lines are open, you can share your experience and your understanding of the law.
And there's a distinction between association and trade union.
Trade union, okay.
The trade unions are guided by law. Associations are guided by their own constitution.
Yes, local bylaws.
Local bylaws. So for association, you can decide to belong to a number of associations. The interesting thing is that nowadays, a number of the associations have also registered as a trade union. So you may belong to Ghana Medical Association, but in itself, it has also registered as a trade union. And you pay dues to the Ghana Medical Association. So invariably, you are part of that association
which is now a union.
Then you also work at VRA, where I also operate. And you are a medical doctor there, but you also belong to the union, which is the Public Services Workers Union over there.
You belong
so the point is that technically you belong to two unions. But the interesting thing is that the employer may deduct only one dues for the PSWU. The Ghana Medical Association, you have to go there and pay it on your own. And they cannot come to the organization to negotiate for you. It is a union with a collective bargaining certificate in respect of that entity that can negotiate for you. So without going much into legalities, the Constitution is very clear. Every worker has the right to join a union of his choice. Yeah.
But what about those workers that we don't belong to any? Is it also, I know the law has made room because you may choose not to belong. But there are some organizations, the moment you are employed, it's like an automatic thing. You must be part, and they start deducting. Is that allowed by the law?
Okay, so that is the practice. That is the practice we have.
Or you need members.
But the law is the law. The law says that you have the right to belong to a trade union of your choice, which also means that when you go into every union, they have membership application forms that you have to fill and other things. But it becomes very difficult. We are not talking about 20 or 100 workers. You go to a place like Ghana Education, you are talking about 350,000 workers. The truth is that it is also very difficult to administer this. So, in effect, what we do is that when the people join the organization,
automatically,
there is a union that is operating over there. There is a union that is negotiating the condition of service. Who should use its money dues to negotiate for favorable condition of service for you to enjoy. So the point is that we make it almost automatic for everybody to be part of it. But where the person exercises the right and rights that I don't want to be part of it, we also have those opportunity for the person to opt out of the union. But many places, we have made it that once it is a unionized environment, the unions have also negotiated that every worker may be part of the union, and per our administrative principles and systems in place. Once you join the organization, during the orientation, the union will be there. You'll be given the union membership form, or you'll be told that you'll be deducted the union dues. At least once you don't resist, it means that you have consented. But this one, you were told, and you did not raise any objection. Then you were deducted, and you did not raise any objection. You are part of it. But at any point in time, if for whatever reason you want to opt out of the union, there are procedures by which you can do that, including even going to court to opt. But we don't make it that attractive for people to opt out, because the union have a lot of benefits.
Yeah, so then let me ask you, the union has a lot of benefits. So what are these benefits to the worker, so that you see, when I belong, I will feel comfortable?
Okay, yes, that is good. Now, when you go to organizations, many organizations, you say this organization, category A, category B, or I'm working at Bank of Ghana, VRA, I want to work at GRA. You must know that it is unions that have operated with the management to come out with all the conditions and all the allowances and all the conditions that people who now want to work at that place. So first and foremost, unions negotiate favorable working conditions for the people. It's not only about even financial conditions, but also intrinsic, and also about the governance of the organization, your promotion, and how you start from one place and then tomorrow you are a manager. It is workers that brought all these proposals over the years. and fought with management or negotiated with management, and they have the system that they have in place. Though the systems at the workplace is not just designed by the management. Many things were never part of the organization's policies.
Initial setup.
Stages.
It's
But
the
it is
workers'
the workers
union
that have come together.
Yeah.
Yes, and then two heads are better than one. So when workers come together, we benefit from that synergy, and we are then able to exert, if you like, force, and management is able to reason. If you are not careful, when you are employed as a manager, your aim is to make sure that you deliver the mandate of the organization.
That's right.
And in doing so, you may ignore other welfare benefits. And yours is to make the human being produce like a machine. It is the workers that when they come together are able to remind you that why the worker is also a human resource. He's not a human resource like the other resources like land and the machines. But they are special resource. They need rest. They need respect, they need leisure, they need training and retraining. And if you don't have workers group to do this, sometimes for achieving the mandate, management may ignore some of these workers' concern or welfare issues. So that is what workers' unions do.
Wow.
Now, trade unions, apart from negotiating favorable working conditions, they also provide legal protection for the workers. We are trained, we have lawyers, and we have also retainers, or we have external lawyers. So the point is that per our work and training, we are very knowledgeable in the law, especially the labor law.
The labor laws, okay.
Now, we represent workers. So when workers appear before disciplinary committee, you will see union representation either in the committee or accompanying the person to attend. And we protect them. Now, where we need external lawyers, the union pay for the external lawyers.
The fees of the lawyer.
The fees and protect. Quite recently, or about 5 years ago, you heard that TV3 sacked like 32 workers. They belong to the PSW. And the PSW, for the past 5 years, have represented them in court.
In court, okay.
The case just ended, and we are looking forward at the end of May to receive the judgment, which we believe it will go in the favor of the workers. But you can imagine, how can a worker that have lost job,
you don't have a job,
fight
pay for
a case in court for 5 years? But the union have paid over 300 to 400,000 in legal representation and other things. Now, when our workers are also sitting at home, we also provide financial support for them.
Okay.
So that they will be able to move even to the courts anytime something happens to them. At least. So these are the things that the workers we do. We also have welfare schemes. We have group insurance schemes. We have provident funds that we have created, or welfare schemes. Like when you go to NAT, they have the NAT fund. When you come to PSW, we have PSW fund. And this fund, we give members loans. And we give loans from 10% to, let's say, 15%.
Which is far lower than the bank rate.
Than the 30-35%.
I'm not sure your members are aware.
Our members are pretty much aware.
I see, but they still take the bank loans.
No, most of our people take loans from us.
Okay.
And those that may go to the bank, perhaps maybe they have finished exhausting their loan.
Here, it's running.
And they also want. Or we have people who didn't know, and they went for bank loans, and now with education, they are coming for loans from the union to go
offset
that one, so that they will pay. These are things that we do. When you also go to some of the union, they have hospitals, they have schools, they have hotels, they have hostels that host a lot of people. For example, Public Service Workers Union in Kumasi, we have a hostel which is like a hotel. Like a 3-star hotel that can accommodate about 300 people, and that have a conference facility that can take over 700 people. We have politicians that come and use the place. Even when COVID came, the Public Services Workers Union hotel in Kumasi was actually used as the
an
COVID
isolation
center, an isolation center.
Oh,
so
this one I need to applaud you.
Thank you very
for
much.
that.
These are things that we do. When you go to CLOSAC, they have CLOSAC clinic at the ministry where people are working there. We have employed, and all these subsidiaries that the unions have created, we employ people. We pay tax to the state. Nat Fund, for instance, is one of the largest funds in Ghana, and a lot of the banks even also
borrow from
it, or we save and buy instruments, and then it is able to also provide liquidity for the bank. So the unions have a lot of benefit. But the point is that we don't come out there to talk, because you may be right to say that we are self-centered, selfish organization. It's not necessarily selfish, but we don't do it for you if you don't contribute.
I'm doing it for my members.
We are doing it for our members.
Yeah, but
so we don't do it for the public. I said that few things we open to the public, but some of these benefits that we are talking about, they are benefits that are available to the people that pay dues to the union.
But my worry here is, do all the members of some of these trade unions that you've mentioned, or workers' unions that you've mentioned, aware of what their unions are doing so that they can benefit from it? For example, if I'm a public service worker, if I get to Kumasi, am I aware of your facility there, so that if I go there with my ID card, I can have a discount, unlike the one who doesn't belong? Then at least I can know that what my contributions over the years has done, I'm benefiting from it. Are they aware of such
So
things?
I cannot speak for all unions,
Yes.
but at least I can speak for my union.
That's right.
I would say that largely people are aware, but not all the people anyway. Because if each of these organizations also have local leaders, and these policies, we communicate them in circulars
adequately,
and we share. Now on social media, we have a website. Some of this information are also there. But I will still say that we have some of the members that still need education, orientation. Some people may not know that you have a facility here. Some people may not know that they can access this legal. And I have seen people that they have issues at the workplace that they have gone to take lawyers
personally,
and later on when we get to know about it. And in fact, even in the Public Service Workers Union, we have what we call critical illness. We have 4 main critical illness: kidney and dialysis treatment, cancer, and stroke, and also heart-related disease. These 4 ailments, we have brought them together. And once you are a member of the Public Services Workers Union of TUC Ghana, once you suffer from any of these and you inform us, we support you for the treatment. Some people may not know, but we keep on educating our members about this benefit. And you don't need to pay any money into a special fund. Because you are a member of the union, you pay dues to the union. As part of our welfare responsibilities, we have this package for our people. Currently, as we speak, every member on annual basis, and you know some of these ailments can be with somebody for over 5 years, 10 years.
he would not even know.
The truth is that. But the benefit is not just for 1 year. As long as you live with it and you are treating it, every year we have money. Currently, we were given 5,000 per person, and we are even considering raising it to. In fact, the initial rate that we agreed was 20,000 per annum, and we want to move to a level where no matter how much, whether it is 100,000 or whatever, even if we have to fly you outside the country for treatment, we will do
the
this.
union will come in,
and we are building capacity to be in the position to do some of these things. Also, when people are going on retirement, we have some benefit we give to them. When people are bereaved, we attend and solidarize with them and also pay some donation to them. So these are benefits that we have for people. When people suffer any disaster, whether there is fire or there is flood or whatever, we visit the people. Quite recently, when Akosomo opened the dam,
yes, the spillage.
The point is that our members in that region that were affected, we actually visited them and supported them in terms of financial support. So these are some of the things that we do for our members.
I think the unions are doing a lot. It's just that the PR is a bit on the lower side, because when I consider the hostels you mentioned, the hotel facilities that you mentioned, the conference facility, the clinics, all these are not just for the benefit of the members.
Okay.
Because, for example, the closer clinic you talked about, I think anybody can walk in and be taken care of.
Yes, please.
So it means that it's not just the members who benefit, but even the state and the general populace, we all benefit. I'm interested in your loans. Let the loans get into the public.
Okay, in
so
fact,
that we can, as many people, market women, etc.
I agree with you. It's not far-fetched. What we started to do was to service to serve all our members. But after serving the members, we still have money. What we do is that we buy government instrument and other things.
Okay, so that they can.
Nowadays, even government instrument, it's not too safe, as you can see. So the point is that we are looking forward to also serve our community. And therefore, it's not far-fetched for the union to think outside the box and give even a discounted rate also to market women and other people. So it's a good suggestion you have brought. The union is very flexible and very open, very innovative. The truth is that our PL is not as the PL that you may expect. Because as I told you, we know ourselves. So when Apostolic Church is communicating, it communicates through its circulars, and it knows that its people have received it. But the public may not know.
No.
So what we do is that we have channels by which we communicate our information. Many a time, the public want to know the things that concern the public. That is okay. But the truth is that we have means that when I click on one button, I know that there is a WhatsApp group that we have Telegram that I have about 5,000 people that I go.
Who are your members?
Who are our members? But I agree with you that it is about time, because public image and confidence also is a social capital. And it is about time for the unions perhaps to strengthen their PL unit and to also make sure that people talk more. The employers are not giving us time. The government is, with its unfavorable policies, is not giving us enough time. So we spend all the time thinking and fighting, and now we are branded that we strike and demonstrators. But we have so much that we do.
Yes.
Our offices are just like your normal office. When we go to the office, there are policy discussion, there are research, there are a lot of things. There are training and retraining of our staff, conferences and other things, like any other office. But the employer, usually in Ghana, has not been too favorable. Some of the employers have not been so favorable. Even the government himself, he negotiates with you and he doesn't fulfill it. The time that he's supposed to fulfill, he doesn't implement it, and always we are going on strike. So the general public think that the principal duty of a union is to strike.
Yes, in fact, today you've educated me.
We have more than that.
Because I have known trades union or workers unions to be only negotiating for salary increment, and then if you don't get it, you strike.
No.
But you see, you've mentioned way beyond that. And
we have created a lot of thousands of jobs to employ Ghanaians.
That's right.
And some of the job is not only our members that are employed. Any Ghanaian can be employed.
Who is qualified can apply.
We have created subsidiaries. This fund and other things we are talking about is a financial institution, and it's operating and bigger than even savings and loans. And we have employed professionals that are working there.
Take care
and
of
all
it.
these are what we do also to contribute to the economy of the state.
Wow. Viewers, this is very insightful. Holiday conversations on May Day, International Workers' Day. Now, it's been an insightful thing. We've been looking at what labor unions do, and today has been so insightful. So let me ask you, Deputy General Secretary, for your final words to all workers, and maybe you have some wishes to our
workers. Okay, thank you very much. I want to mention the theme for this year May Day. This year May Day theme is Election 2024, the role of workers and social partners in securing peaceful election for national development. We will canvass our activities at the May Day parade, where the president, the vice president, the diplomatic corps, and other invited dignitaries will also be present at the Independence Square. where we will march as we typically do. When we finish that, we will go to various places. The Public Services Workers Union is partnering the Ghana Tourism Authority, Ministry of Tourism, the Asanteman Queen Mother's Council to do what we call the Grand May Day celebration, where we are going to showcase Ghanaian food, and we are going to cook food from different regions with their Queen Mothers standing, and we are doing it at the International Conference Center.
Is it allowed for us to come and taste?
Yes, if you are invited, and I still have some few cards, so I can actually invite you.
Very good.
And we are going to eat, we are going to have fun. We have invited various artists. We are going to have Samini perform over there. We are going to have Keichire Kwame Apia. We are going to have Wolome and many others. And it's going to be eating, drinking, eating different food, TZ, Kenke, Akpele, Papausa, Yake. We are going to display Ghana food. So that is also what we do. We use this day also to, and this particular year, in collaboration with the Ghana Tourism Authority, to showcase Ghanaian culture and through our food. And we have invited the diplomatic corps to come and observe. And we are believing that as we do all this thing, we are marketing Ghana.
Ghana, wow.
Yes.
So wonderful presentation there by Johnny Donusampa, the Deputy General Secretary of the Public Services Workers Union of TUC Ghana. We want to thank you very much for joining our show this morning. We believe that your day is already packed with the program ongoing and what you are also going to do this evening. But I hope to be there.
Thank you very much.
To enjoy some of the local.
And please, if you oblige me, I forgot I have to extend special and warm regard to my wife, Mrs. Nana Ekuya Kranchi Sampa, who is also a deaconess in the Apostolic Church, Rehoboth District. And all my workers, the 27,000 members of the Public Services Workers Union, I wish all of them happy Workers' Day.
Happy Workers' Day. Thank you very much. Keep your channel on Tac Television. We'll be right back with more inciting discussions.
Welcome to the courtroom with me, your host, Lady Lawyer Abby. This show promises to be educative, exciting, and a show that offers free legal advice. I'll be on your screens this and every Thursday from 8:30 p.m. with lawyers to discuss various legal issues like land, child custody, marital issues, adoption, defilement, and so many others. You do not want to miss the courtroom. Join me and my team, the courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. The courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Tac TV.
Tac TV, belting the globe with the gospel.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the May Day show. This is Holiday Conversations. To do the discussion, I have with me Ajua Anan, an HR expert. She's going to help us to discuss how we can improve labor productivity and performance at the workplace. Since today we are dealing with workers, or the International Workers' Day, we want to see how workers can improve their productivity at the workplace. So join me to welcome Ajua Anan. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so I want us to discuss a little bit about labor productivity. So when you talk about labor productivity, what exactly do the HR people mean?
Okay, thank you very much. And I want to say good morning to all our viewers as well. When you talk about productivity, you are looking at how effective the labor force is. And so what is the input you are putting into the labor force and what output will come out at the end. So you are looking at them doing their job without having a lot of mistakes or in the fantasy world, you are hoping your workers are working without any mistake at all. But when a labor force is productive, they are just people who are effective at what they are being hired to do.
Okay, if you talk about being effective at what people are hired to do, what exactly do you mean?
So, for example, if you hire somebody as a carpenter, you are hoping the person has a certain set of skills. That is why they were hired in the first place. And so such a person, when they come to the workforce, they are supposed to know what they were hired to do and perform it at a certain level. And so when your labor force is productive, no matter where they were hired from, they are coming with a certain set of skills and they are able to perform that skills, taking into consideration where they are currently going to be working at. Because you see, a lot of places have various ways they do their job. And so somebody's in company A, their expectation is different from when they come to a company B. And so when they come to a company B, what is the company looking to achieve? Why were they hired in the first place? And so when they perform why they were hired at the maximum level, then we say the workforce is productive. Yeah.
So it means that the employer must give the employee some expectations or KPIs to help him carry out his work. All right. So I want us to look at some measures of productivity at the workplace. Generally, what are some of the things we can use to measure someone's productivity? Yeah.
Okay, so generally, I was looking at, as I said initially, somebody who is at the workplace is coming with a certain form of skill. So what is the level of skill that the person has? And then you are looking at people who are able to work within a certain time frame, because all employers are working even if it's not for money, they have their name, reputation at stake. And so you're looking for somebody who is able to maintain the same level of timeliness, because they say time is money. And you are looking at somebody who is, I'm going to use the word again, effective. Somebody who is working at minimum supervision, somebody who is able to quickly learn on their job as well. So these are some of the things we are looking at when you're looking at productivity.
So to be able to finish your work at the time that is set for you.
Yes.
To be able to do the work to the expectation of your employer.
Yes.
Etc. Etc.
Yeah.
All right. But I do hear a lot of employers, both in the formal and informal sector, that the workers are not efficient. They are not. Their productivity is low, and it appears that at almost every workplace, when you go, you sort of hear this statement. Why that?
So, first of all, you are looking at what is the work culture. And so people have a certain work culture from where they are coming from and where they are hired. And so as an employer, what kind of culture are you projecting to an employee? And when we say work culture, we are looking at, usually people say, oh, this workplace, where you go, there's no stress. You don't have to worry yourself. You do just the minimum and you can be okay. Is that what you are portraying to your staff? If that's what you are portraying to your staff, anybody, no matter how qualified they are, when they come into the workplace, they are going to pick the same culture from the other people, because it's the team that they come and meet. They mimic the team that they come and meet. And so as an employer, you are hoping to have a good work culture where people see that this is a place that when I come, I'm supposed to work. I cannot just come in. Some people say I'm going for a break, and then they can get away with 2 hours because nobody is actually, they are not accountable to anybody. So some of these things, that's what we are looking at. Also, we are looking at what is the investment as an employer you are giving your staff. As I said initially, before you hire somebody, they must come with a certain kind of skill. When they come with the set skill that you are looking for, is that all you want? Sometimes when people employ others, they don't want to invest in improving their skills and knowledge. And currently in this world, it's fast-paced. Things are changing all the time. The sort of materials we're using initially, if you're a production company, they have changed. If you're a service company, the way we used to provide service has changed. And so if you don't invest in training for people to acquire certain kind of skills, for people to upgrade themselves with the new things that are coming up, and then, of course, you are going to be one of the employers complaining that staff are not productive.
Okay, so you are looking at the level of investment that an employer makes in the employee, such as sponsoring the employee for training, providing the tools that are needed to work. Of course, if you are expecting me to achieve certain set goals, then I must also have the tools that I need to use to achieve them.
It's just unfortunate that now people think that they don't have to spend money into doing training and development of their staff. But that will eventually come to hand to you, because in the long run, the staff will end up not being productive.
Yes, but there have been situations where you spend so much to train your own staff, either in-service training or you sponsor the person to train elsewhere. And then after the training, because the employee thinks he's acquired more skill, he leaves to another place for greener pastures or higher pay. How do you reconcile that? Because if I'm an employer, I will be a bit hesitant in investing so that my staff at the end of the day will leave me. What should the employer do? Okay, so training should not be like a reward system. Sometimes people just use training as a way to reward you. You've been here for a long time, so go to training. And that's how come some of the people, they go to the training. It's okay, finally I've got to go to training, so I'm moving on. But if you make the training regular, I'm not going to be here for maybe 4 years before I go for a training. Or I'm not going to be here for 2 years before I go to training. And when people are going for training, you have to tailor the training. What was the staff employed to do? Train them on that particular thing. Sometimes we tend to train people on several things which may not be pertaining to their job. And so they think that they've acquired certain new skills and then they want to leave. And also you want to tie your training to the employee's development goal for a particular year. And so usually we say that have a plan for the person for a year. And so the training they're going to be doing should be based on what are the goals I want you to achieve within the year. And definitely you can put the people on some form of incentive. If you do this training, you can't live within a certain number of months or years. Okay, so you bond them.
So that you're able to recoup
you can
some form
bond me
of
if
money.
I leave,
But when you invest in the person going for the training, they are going the training not for themselves alone. They are going for the training for the company. Exactly. So even if they are living in the next 1 year, within the 1 year, they will still be working for you and they will impact positively on your business before they leave, if they have to leave. Yeah.
Well, so employers and those of us who employ people, no matter the number of people that you have employed, what we are hearing this morning is that to improve the productivity of your staff, you need to invest in them. You need to also create the culture that people can really work to achieve company expectations. So don't think your company is too small. Even if it is one employee, you have to do your best to invest in them. But Ajua, I want us to look at, I'm an informal person. I have a shop. I have two people. One packs the things outside. You know the way Ghanaians, we do it. Every morning you have to carry the things outside. And then in the evening you pack it in. And then you have your attendants. Does it call for any upgrade and culture? What will you recommend?
Of course, for example, if, as you said, they are carrying the things in and out. Can't you invest in maybe like a forklift? So you take them to some forklift training, or okay, if it's just very small, 1 person or 2 person shop, you can even help them onto how do you even lift things. There are various ways of lifting things that may not affect your back.
That's right.
But people don't take it serious. They just say, oh, it's just lifting, so we employ to just go and lift. But you can invest in training for them to be able to lift it in a certain way that is the prescribed standard, so that tomorrow they are not sick. Tomorrow they say, my back, then you have to go and employ somebody else. So you can do something like that. And even for the customer service person at the front desk, you can go into what is customer service training. Help them to be able to serve the customer better, because if you have a small shop, you remember that in our neighborhood where the small shops are, it's not only one shop. There are several shops. So if you don't train your staff how to even receive the customers, how to serve the customers, how to get feedback from the customers, they will go to the next shop available and go and buy.
Even how to dress in the morning, because when I come to your shop and the attendant is well dressed, maybe I'll come back again. If I come and every day it's just anyhow,
and they talk to you anyhow,
you know, you see. So I think that investing in our staff, no matter the number and the level of sophistication of the
staff, or
industry,
even education
whatever,
of the staff as well.
It takes some training to really get there and to increase productivity. Well, thank you very much. So now I also want us to see what the individual employee can do to improve his own productivity at the workplace. Can you give us some specifics as we look at International Workers' Day? Some specific things that as an employee I can do to improve my productivity at the workplace?
The first thing I'll talk about is motivation. Why you're at the workplace in the first place. So as an employee, sometimes we are looking to the employer to motivate us to be able to do our job. But no matter what somebody does, there's very little they can do if you yourself don't have the intrinsic motivation to say that this is what I've decided to do. Or if it's not something that you like, this is what I have found now. How can I make myself better and then go to what I want in the future? So as an employee, one of the things you can do is try and motivate yourself, even when you go to the workplace. And then number two, when you start to work, what is the onboarding process? People see it's like when you go to a new place, they are happy. And so, you know, the first day, they don't even hear whatever everybody's saying. They are just interested in where can I start to work? But one of the things that you can do as an employee is to also be very aware of the onboarding process and even see whether this is even the place I want to be.
No, let me ask you, what's the onboarding process? So, we are not HR professionals, so okay. And then you can continue. Yeah.
Okay, so the onboarding process is the first day at work. What do the people who are the HR officers, how did they take you through what you're supposed to do for the first day? Usually, people end up filling forms. If it's a formal sector, you're filling forms. They are showing you where everything is. They are taking you to your desk. They are giving you what we call your position description or your job description. This is what you're supposed to be doing throughout your stay here. And so people should pay attention to these things. The way the HR staff will take you through them should even let you know what kind of company you are going into. So that if it's not something that is good for you, at the first day you can decide not to work there anymore.
I've stayed home for so long, and then at the first day you want me to turn it down. I'm
coming to. So the next thing is, don't be focused on money. So if you are too much focused on what am I going to get out of where I'm going to work, that's where you become unproductive, because you went to work at the certain place because of the money they were going to give you, not because of the skills or the abilities that you had, or because somebody knows you and so they offer you a job and you're not thinking through, is this something that I really want to do? And then you just go into the work. When you do that, you become unproductive because this is not what you really wanted to do. You just took it because of the money, or because, as you said, I've been sitting home for so long, so I have to do this job.
So you look at the motivation. You have to motivate yourself that I am really coming in to contribute to the well-being of the company.
Yes.
What else?
And that's what the second thing I was saying is that look at how the people that you're going to work with, how they are receiving on their first day. Are they giving you your duties and responsibilities, or they're just throwing to your desk and say, this is your desk, go and start to work?
Oh, so a clear-cut way of letting me know what you expect of me.
Yes.
Like, even though you give me an appointment letter, when I come, it is proper that somebody takes me through the roles and responsibilities once again, and even maybe expand them.
Yes.
And help me understand what exactly is meant.
Because obviously you have a certain skill, that's why they are recruiting you for that particular job.
That's right.
But you have to remember that every job is different depending on which organization you are working. And so even if you are a customer service person in one organization, you're going to be a customer service in another organization, it's a different job. The roles may be different. Company A may say customer service is just at the front desk, just answer the telephone. Company B, maybe you get guests coming in, you have to send some emails. So every job is different, and so you have to be very careful how you are getting into it, especially on your first day. What are you looking out for at the job? And somebody telling you what you need to be doing.
Then I think that employers have a lot to do. And okay, you get to a job place or a workplace and nobody takes you through something like that. What should you do? Because we are looking at what the employee should do to improve his own productivity?
Ask questions, communication. Sometimes people are afraid to be able to ask questions because they don't want to look like, hey, you are just here.
Your first day, you're asking too many questions.
Many questions, but we have to be assertive. You have been employed to do something. If you don't deliver, it's the same company that is going to say, oh, we've wasted money on you. Why did we hire you? And so you have to ask questions. You have to be able to plan, as an employee, plan your job. What job have I been given? How do I plan my job so that I become productive? Because if you don't plan, the whole day will come and pass by before you realize
I've done anything.
Oh, I didn't do anything. My boss is going to do. So one of the things you can also do to be able to become productive as an employee is to be able to plan your work life out. And sometimes it's important to maybe, if you plan it the whole week, you're not sure what is going to happen, especially if you're in
one day or the other, yes.
In a fast-paced industry. So at least when you get it in the morning, try to plan what is my task for the day, what is my priority, what can wait. And that will help you so that if something else even comes whilst you are in the process of doing something else, because you have planned, you don't lose track of how I'm supposed to do throughout the day.
Okay, should it also border on the use of gadgets like phones, tablets, etc., internet on the
It actually
computer?
Depends. If you are somebody who is was hired as a media person, or you are the one going to be doing the marketing, then you have to be somebody who is very digital inclined, because you have to know the trends that is happening. You have to follow where the news is. Mm-hmm. But not somebody who is hired to maybe, for example, if you are at the front desk, don't be someone who is always glued to your phone, always checking what is happening.
Now, even you go to the hospital and the nurses at the OPD, they are on their phones. You are sick. Nobody really cares.
And that is why we are now talking about employees not being productive. You can't be productive if you are always swayed from the actual job that we're supposed to go and do. We are not saying don't use your phones. Now phones and then the laptops and things, they have become part of our lives. Yes. But you have to know when to use it, when not to use it. And of course, at the workplace, you're not working 24 hours a day. Or even if you are going to work for 8 hours, you're not there 8 hours sitting at your desk. There's break time. You can take some me time during your break time to be able to check your, maybe somebody's calling you. It's urgent. You can see and see, oh no, can be urgent. But if you see your normal day person calling you, you could see that it's not something that I have to take now. I can always call them back.
Yeah, but sometimes if you don't pick, it's also a trouble, because later they sort of take you on, etc., etc. But viewers, today is International Workers' Day, and we are discussing how we can improve productivity at the workplace. Helping me to do that is Joanna, an HR expert, and we've been discussing what productivity is, what are the roles as an employer you can take to improve the productivity of your staff, and what does the employee himself has to do to improve his own or her own productivity. We will go for a short break. Please stay tuned and keep watching Tac Television, the official television station of the Apostolic Church Ghana, belting the globe with the gospel. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the courtroom with me, your host, Lady Lawyer Abby. This show promises to be educative, exciting, and a show that offers free legal advice. I'll be on your screens this and every Thursday from 8:30 p.m. with lawyers to discuss various legal issues like land, child custody, marital issues, adoption, defilement, and so many others. You do not want to miss the courtroom. Join me and my team, the courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. The courtroom, showing this and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Tac TV.
Tac TV, belting the globe with the gospel.
Ọdọfoɔ, abrabɔ no akyerɛ wɔ so. Awerɛhoɔ ne asesena mu nsɛm ayɛ dadwene ama wɔn na. Ɛneɛ, bisa Nyame, ɔsoro mu ato. ɛyɛ wo sɛ nyame ayi n'ani ahinta wɔ nyinaa. Bisa nyame yɛ mpaebɔ mmerɛ kɛseɛ wɔ Tac TV so. Awia dumie no ɛkɔsi dɔnkɔ. Ɛdwoada, ɛbenada, ɛne nkwada biara. Bisa nyame na ɔbɛyɛ ama wo. Bisa nyame na ɔbɛma wakoma atɔ wo yam. Bisa nyame wɔ Tac TV so. Awurade nhyira.
Tac TV, built in the globe with the gospel.
Wow, welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying tuned to Tac Television, belting the globe with the gospel. Today is International Workers' Day. We usually say May Day. It's a holiday for all workers, and we are reflecting on how we can improve productivity at the workplace as part of our holiday conversations. Helping me do this last segment is Ajua Osaibia Anan, an HR expert. Ajua, thank you very much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
And we'll continue the discussion. We were discussing how individual employees can improve their own productivity on the job or at the workplace. And you mentioned that they have to ask questions to clarify their roles. They have to also not use their phones if you are not permitted to do that. You have to try to
follow the onboarding process.
Yes, follow the onboarding process. So are there any other things that as an employee you can do? You also talked about planning your day.
Yeah.
Yes, are there any others?
One of the things you also have to do is to be able to take feedback. As human beings, naturally, we don't like feedback. We think when somebody is giving us feedback, the person doesn't like us or is out to get us. But if you don't take feedback, you're not able to reflect on what am I doing? Is it the right thing I'm doing? Am I being effective? So taking feedback from either your colleagues or your supervisors can help you to also become productive. Because when somebody tells you, oh no, you have been here the whole 8 hours, this is the only thing you were able to do. Don't be offended that, all the effort I put in this thing, why are you saying that? Mm-hmm. But take it as feedback and see how can I improve on what am I doing now.
But what specific question can I ask if I want feedback?
Okay.
Let's say from my immediate supervisor.
Okay, so if your supervisor, for example, gives you a task, and you take the task and he doesn't say anything, ask them, how do you feel about this?
What I did?
Oh, yes. Or do you have any input? If there's something you didn't do right, when you ask, do you have any input, they are more likely to give you what other things they thought you should have done. Or if you ask somebody, how do you see this? It's not a yes or no answer. So you give them room to give you an actual, honest feedback on what they... But sometimes people, especially when you are an employee and you are new, your supervisor may be hesitant to tell you, oh, no, you didn't do this right. So you as an employee should be able to also request for a feedback when you do something.
Wow, let's keep asking for feedback. So let's take a typical teacher or a nurse. How do I ask for feedback and who do I ask from? I'm the teacher in the class alone.
So when you are teaching your students, sometimes we underrate students, especially when you are a teacher, you are teaching somebody in the primary or junior high school.
That's right.
You think that, oh, they are just children, you don't care about it. But after the lessons, you can ask them, how did the class go? Or did you understand what I was teaching? Did you have any questions? What questions are there? Sometimes when you ask, do you have any questions? I'm afraid. But if you say, what questions are there? Then it's like you are the one requesting that I ask a question, so I'll be more comfortable to ask a question. If you're a nurse, a patient comes, are you feeling better now after seeing the doctor? They come back to you, right? Because they want to directions, oh, how can I go to the pharmacy or anything? Did the doctor, were you able to express how you were feeling at the doctor's place? Do you feel better now? Is there anything else I can do for you? But we just think that, oh, it's my job. They've come to see me. The doctor has seen them.
I'll be paid anyway. Whether I ask it or not, I'll be paid. So.
But you have to note that when people are coming to you, they are requesting a service. They are also expecting that they receive a good service. And sometimes people, when they don't receive a good service, especially in this part of the world, it's difficult for them to say it. So when you request for feedback, then they are more able to tell you.
I won't tell you. I make my decision not to come back. That's all. I'll make my decision. I won't come back.
And that's one of the things why you, the person, should be able to ask for feedback, because as you said, some people may not, okay, you gave me a bad service, I'm not coming back.
That's right.
But if you ask for the feedback and they give you a feedback, they are more likely to come back than you just letting them go. They may not even come back again.
So trying to improve our productivity will help us keep more clients and even get recommendations. I remember once when I was admitted at a hospital. That's my first and only time I've been admitted. And then when I was discharged, even the next day, I was called early in the morning to check whether I've taken my drugs, whether I was feeling better. In the afternoon, they called back. And you will have to go back to the hospital again.
I was just about to ask you, if you were sick, which one will you go? The same place or another place?
If I had the opportunity, I'll go to the same
So it's just
place.
natural. And people have to remember that whichever industry you find yourself, you're providing a service. And you're competing with other people. It's not like a one company that everybody has to come to.
ECG is only one. So if I'm at ECG, whether I behave well or not, you don't have any place to go.
But eventually, when people find other ways of getting power, like somebody will go for solar, and so they don't really use the power that you say you are providing. At the end of the day, you lose revenue because people are now going to other sources of energy. And hypothetically, let's say another company comes into the system. How many people will stay at ECG? Before you realize, most people have gone to the other company, whether it's good or bad, because they're experiencing the bad service here. As soon as a new company comes, they quickly go there, and then maybe they get good service there, they stay there. And
well, it means that competition, having several companies in the system or several people providing the same service or business, will eventually improve productivity in one way or the other.
Yes.
But when you feel that you are alone, then you are just like that, because no matter what, the people will
come back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any other points?
The last thing is to also don't be too quick to go for other people to tell you what to do. Even though I said quick, ask for feedback, ask questions. Don't be too quick. Other than that, you become unproductive. You're always waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. So if those people are not there to tell you what to do, what will you do next? Nothing. You just sit down and I'm waiting for them, because I can't take decisions on my own. I don't want to do it on my own. I'm waiting for other people to influence how I work. And that is also not very good.
Yeah, so a lot of things for us employees to do to improve our productivity. Make sure your onboarding process is fine the next time you get a new job. And then 2, ask questions. Make sure that you ask for feedback. Number 3, learn yourself about what you are doing. And then number 4, you are supposed to plan your day or your week very well. Know which activities to do, what not to do at that time. Minimize the use of your phone, and etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much. So we will continue. I want us to now look at labor unions. Today is Labor Day, as it's called in some countries. It's International Workers' Day. We have labor unions. What should labor unions be doing to help employees improve their productivity at the workplace?
Unfortunately, nowadays, labor unions are only looking at how much money can we get from the employer. But there's so many other things they can do. As labor unions, what work-life balance is your employer giving your workers? You have to think about that. Are we only always working? Or are we asking the employer to do other activities? So if you have seen, some employers are actually doing other things apart from working. They are taking them to do fun activities. Sometimes people think this is just fun, but the more fun people are having, they are building their team also. So because at the end of the day, it's a collaboration
Teamwork,
of people.
yeah.
So teamwork will always win the day. So that's some of the things that the labor unions to look at. And also, what kind of health benefits am I getting from my employees? Okay, as a labor union representative. Unfortunately, we all fall sick one way or the other. And most companies, especially the multinational companies, are providing their staff with health insurance. Because we all know that if you depend on only the national health insurance, you may not get exactly what you want. And so labor unions can also look at what are the health benefits I can get the employer to give the employees. When somebody is not thinking about, oh, if I fall sick, what am I going to do? Or if you are rating somebody, if you fall sick, you don't come to work, I will not mark you for the day. But if they are assured that even if I'm sick and I'm genuinely sick, I'll get paid, and the employer also take care of my health, they will be more productive at the workplace.
Yeah, it means that I can kill myself, as we say,
yes,
for the job that I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So labor unions, we have a lot to do, not just pay increase and demonstrations, but we can look at the health of the employee, etc. But when we're discussing what the employee can do to improve his own productivity, something that just came to mind is having a good night's sleep. If you work during the day and you want to watch TV or keep yourself on WhatsApp and social media all night, you wake up more stressed. So maybe we have to add that as an employee, make sure you have good rest. Make sure you take your annual leave and don't go and do another job. But make sure you
actually resting.
Yeah, good rest, because all work and no play will not help you improve very much. So I think that when it comes to improving productivity at the workplace, from what we've been discussing, I see that the employee has more responsibility even than the employer.
Yeah.
But the employer must also create the conducive environment,
yes,
provide the tools that I need to work with, and even provide some, you said, holidays or fun activities at the workplace, etc. Maybe even canteens, if it's a bigger place of work, then canteens within the institution, so that I'm not compelled to walk away going to look for food to eat.
Even the television you were talking about, some companies now are providing televisions at the workplace.
Yes.
They know that when I provide it, it doesn't mean the staff is going to be sitting there all day
and watching it.
Yeah, but when they are stressed at their station, there's something that they can go and distress themselves.
That's right.
Or during the lunchtime, they can take a break and watch the highlights of the football match they couldn't watch the other day.
Yeah.
And so some of these things are very helpful to the employees. Yes.
Okay. So viewers, today is 1st May. It's International Workers' Day. Some call it Labor Day or May Day. And we are discussing, as part of our holiday conversations, how we can improve employee productivity at the workplace. And helping me do that is Ajua Anan, an HR expert. And today we've been learning a lot. Employees, we have a lot to do to improve our productivity. Employers also have a lot to do to help the employee improve his or her productivity at the workplace, irrespective of the size of the organization. So, Ajua, your final words to employees and to employers.
Okay, so my final words to the employers especially: hire the right people. Don't hire just because you want to hire, or don't follow what other people say. Oh, this is my sister, hire the person, it's very good. When you have not even experienced, they don't even have any the qualifications and experience you are looking for, they don't possess them. Don't bring such people on board, because those people are not going to be productive. As employers also, try to create a stress-free environment. If the environment is stressful, there's nothing that is good coming out of them.
No, I'm interested in that. How do I create a stress-free environment? Because work is now stressful. I need results. I have to put pressure on you to deliver. So how do I create a stress-free environment?
Like what you said, for example, giving them enough break. Some people say your break is only 15 minutes. How can somebody go and get the food? There's no canteen. I'm going outside to get the food. When will I get there, buy the food, come and
when you are coming in the morning, you bring
your food.
Pack lunch.
Okay,
yes.
So if you pack your lunch, have you provided refrigeration for the food? Have you provided microwave so that they can reheat the food? There's no kitchen in the company. You are adding more stress to the person already stressed. And if you have the ability to provide accommodation, are you providing it? Now, a lot of people are traveling very, very far to even get to work. is it in your power to provide transportation to release the staff from having to go and stand by the roadside all morning waiting to get a vehicle to get? So there are a lot of things employers can do to lessen the stress of their employees. And even having psychologists. Africans are not used to going to see a psychologist, but it doesn't mean that you are
at the
crazy.
Workplace.
Yes, at the workplace. Because the workplace is a fast-paced world. Somebody just needs somebody to talk to.
You can talk to your colleague or your supervisor.
They are not trained professionals, unfortunately. And most of the employers provide, those who even provide the medical services, don't add psychologists.
Okay, so what should be my staff strength to warrant employing a psychologist? Because it comes with cost. And I'm looking at how I can also make more profit.
Remember, as we are saying now, if somebody is stressed, are they going to produce for you? No. So it doesn't really matter how many people you have. You just have to have the will to be able to do that. And you don't have to have somebody on call. Yes, okay. On call all the time. You can have a facility that you can refer your staff to go and get the service that they need.
Why should I go and see a psychologist? I'm not crazy. So I think
when we start providing, that's what I'm saying, that when we start providing such services, we begin to demystify somebody going there. If the service is available and people are aware, then it becomes less stressful for the staff to say, hey, if I go here, what are people going to say? And even when the staff even know that this is what the employer is providing, it removes the veil of having to go and sneak and go and get the service somewhere else. And also as employers, we have to be able to provide proper communication channels. This is who to see when you have this problem. This is where to go if you need something, so that it helps the staff to be more productive. And for the employee, know that nobody can motivate you. No matter how much money somebody gives you, that alone cannot be motivation enough. You need to have your own intrinsic motivation to be able to go to work every morning and produce at your best. And also find time to plan your life. The way you plan for your social life, I'm going to go out this Friday. Do the same thing for your work. Plan your work out, and it will help you to become more productive.
Plan your work out, and it will help you to become more productive. This is Holiday Conversations, and all too soon, our time is up. Unfortunately, today we could not open the phone lines for you to join the conversation, but we believe that you have been learning so much. Ajua Anand has helped us today to discuss how we can improve our productivity at the workplace. I believe that you worked well. Ajua, do you have a few people you want to send greetings to, and then we will wrap up the show?
Oh, okay. I just want to wish all the workers here, we've had a long, happy year, and wish everybody a happy May Day, and also to wish my husband and children happy holidays. Thank you.
Okay, so Prof. Ebenezer, and if you are watching us, I believe you are doing a very happy May Day. Have a restful day with all the children also. Yes, let me also add my voice to wish all workers a very restful May Day. Take the day to rest home or to do some fun activities to release some tension. I also want to wish my wife Salamatu a very happy May Day, and I wish all the workers of the Apostolic Church, all the units, a very, very wonderful and restful May Day, and for all those working behind the scenes to get Ghana moving in the direction that we desire at various workplaces. Enjoy your holiday. Thank you very much. This has been Holiday Conversations with myself, Ebenezer Gyamera, and all the guests and resource people that have been here today, the crew at Tac TV. God bless you. You are working on this May Day. We wish you a happy May Day as you keep working. And God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Come for